All right, guys. The next way means of untangling is going to be similar to the last, but a little bit safer. So, can I borrow a second? Just like anything, your degree of safety is dependent sometimes on the nature of the move, but also your level of ability in the position. The more you trust yourself, the more you can get into the hairier spots and get a lot going on. And a lot of times, just like standing in the pocket in boxing, if you have the skill for it, you will hit a lot of people. If you don't have the skill for it, you will hit some people and they will hit you a lot. So just building your skills over time and understanding who am I, who is this guy, what do I need to do to be effective, what type of safety level is required for this moment in time is a critical part of success in competition. So if we come back, as usual, I'm effecting a solid base. I'm going to slide my knee into my foot, which again protects me as my foot becomes light for a moment. I'm going to draw my knee to me and I'm going to stomp it forward to his far side. I would try to avoid hitting him in the face if possible, unless you're in 1FC, in which case get nuts, because Asian MMA is a crazy place. So anyway, I'm driving my foot all the way up over his shoulder. Why? Because this is not a position where I can get heel hooked. I mean, again, if you just sit there and Adam grabs my toes and yanks him super hard, I'm like, again, but short of me just being completely negligent, him being as strong as a gorilla and having hands the size of a catcher's mitt, I should be just fine. And of course, Adam is a mountain of a man, but you know, we all have our limitations. So I come up, walk to my hands, and I backtrack down to the same position that I would have been had I simply whipped my leg across. So all you're doing is taking a little bit of an up and down as opposed to a dead across, but it means that you don't really have to travel through this middle zone at the risk of bumping into this knee and not getting your weight across. So we're going all the way up. And sometimes he'll put my leg back. I'm like, yeah, all right, that'll happen sometimes. Slide back in. I can try to pass, but notice where my weight is. As we discussed in the last clip, much easier for me to get driven across. Doesn't mean you can't do it. If you get a good bite, if you're all the way in, you can get your stuff done. But if I were you, I would get my head down to the near side. You're going to find that it protects your chief liability in the position, which is the leg that you just stuck across. Come back again. If you notice, I haven't done a whole lot of work on what if they are attached to my ankle like a koala bear. We can do certain things to deal with that. It's such a non-issue in fighting because I will break your head off. But it can be an issue in grappling, but it's ultimately important to understand it's not a real issue. It's this guy's stalling and holding on to me issue. So that can still be a problem in a match. If there's 30 seconds left and he's latched up and wrapped around my leg like a snake, you know, it's a pain. It's not the type of pain that's going to get me beat up, but it's the type of pain that will suck time off the clock. So we can talk about how to deal with that a little bit later, but I would prefer for you to understand how movement works, because that's going to be your chief asset in this position. And anywhere else, and grip breaking is just something you're going to be having to do periodically over time, regardless of what's going on. So I'm all the way up, slide in, pull my foot back, bring it all the way across, and settle in for my pass.